Hey yo, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Derek here. If you're tuning in for the first time, I am a virtual wholesaler. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe if that's the type of content that you're interested in. Talk about everything virtual wholesaling until I bring it to my market, and then I can just talk wholesaling in general. But for now, virtual wholesaling. I live in California. I virtually wholesale in Houston, Texas. If you're in that market, I'd love to connect, maybe JV on something. I've closed 2 deals in my time doing this. Been doing it for about, really for like a year. Um, yeah, today I really haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna call through some of these follow-ups that I have or hop on the dialer. So let me see what I'm working with in terms of follow-ups. Still kind of familiarizing myself with the new dialer. I just switched over to Call Tools recently from Mojo. Some pros, some cons. I've found some things that I like, some things that I don't. Let us see. All right. I'm going to hit some follow-ups. This woman's name is Carmen. I connected with her on the 29th of October, just last week. She had let me know that her and her husband were doing the repairs themselves to the property. Uh, um, and that she's open to hearing a cash offer. And as is condition, if the price is right, she didn't have a realtor that they wanted to work with. She mentioned that they would try to list it for sale by owner. So this is one where it probably won't be a good situation for a cash offer because they've already pretty much committed to doing the repairs themselves. And it sounds like they're about halfway through, if I remember correctly. Um, I didn't take note of that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case is. So I have actually just recently connected with a new realtor. I actually recorded that, put it on my channel. I think I titled it Realtor Relationships. Kind of just went into a little bit how wholesalers and realtors can be mutually beneficial if they work together. And then I called that realtor that I was actually referred to. He's a friend of a person in my coaching group, and just kind of connected and figured out how we can work best together moving forward. So I wanted to just get his information so that I can pass that along to people, or get the rather I prefer to get their permission to give the seller's contact information to the realtor, which is what I think is going to happen here. I think that's the play on this one, because they've already committed to doing the rehab. Um, so just want to kind of make the most of it, capitalize on any situation that's presented to me, and in this case, it's referring them to a realtor. So that's what I'll do if they're not interested in the cash offer again.
Hello?
Hey, Carmen.
Yes?
Carmen, how's it going? This is Derek. We had spoke last week about your property over on Wellington Street.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to round back with you. I think at the time you were letting me know that you and your husband, I think, are already doing some repairs to the place. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
I just wanted to, kind of feel it out, see if you guys have given any thought to. I don't know how far along the process you are, but if you've given any thought to maybe just selling it in its as is condition, and kind of wiping your slate clean. Have you thought about that any?
Um, we have thought of that, but as I said, we kind of, we're trying to get it to see how much we can return it and see how much more we could get from it instead of just getting like a cash price. Because
Yeah.
I know cash price is not even, will be too much from what we're trying to get.
Right.
So yeah, that's that's what we're trying to do. I mean, how much? What is the price that y'all would have, like, in mind, or I don't know how
Yes,
y'all value it.
right. So it really for us it depends on what type of work has been done to the place and what type of work still needs to be done. And I was going to ask, what kind of work have you guys completed already?
Well, we've been there was a shack in the back and like storage, and we
Hmm.
knocked it down already because it needed to get repaired, so we just found it easier just to knock it down.
Hmm.
Um, we cut down a tree. We husband did kitchen. He's on to repair the kitchen, like walls and cabinets and all that.
Uh-huh.
Um, he put tile on the kitchen. He the he worked on two of the rooms.
Okay.
Basically, we have wood floor, but it needs to be repaired.
Okay.
So two of the rooms, basically, they need their floor done.
Okay.
And the living room, he had to repair the living room, but because of the roof leak, would leak, the the ceiling is damaged.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like, or rather, in terms of the bigger ticket items, like the
Mm-hmm.
roof, how old would you say the roof is?
Oh, the roof is it hasn't been repaired.
Okay.
So I believe we owned the house for 30 years. I believe
Oh, wow.
it was a pair one. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And does it have central AC there?
No, it doesn't. It
Okay.
has window units.
Okay. What kind of work were you guys thinking about doing to it? I know you guys were kind of considering.
Um we got quotes for the roof to be done already, and from there we're gonna redo the ceiling in the living room,
Okay.
and then just I know that the outside of it needs to be redone also. I don't know what you call the outside of the home.
Yeah, yeah, like the siding.
Yes, the
Yeah.
siding that needs to be done also.
Okay.
We haven't got a quote on that to see what that would be.
Okay. All right. Now I know you guys were kind of, thinking about dumping some money in yourself and trying to get the most for it. And, did you have a
Mm-hmm.
number in mind that you'd be hoping to get for it after you made all the repairs?
I guess after we make all the repairs, we haven't talked about what the value of the house will be after the repairs are done.
Hmm.
I mean, right now I believe the house is as it is right now. It's value I think like in the 80s.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
79 or 80.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, with the repairs and doing the lawn work and all that also. I'm hoping that maybe at least 100,000.
After the repairs, you said
Yes.
100K after the repairs. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes,
right.
because we're actually leasing a home in Cyprus, and our plan is to fix the home to be able to sell it and then use that as a down payment for to purchase a home in this area.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
I
that's
gotcha.
it.
That was kind of gonna
Mm-hmm.
be my next question. Is
Yes.
how long you guys have been thinking about selling? It seems like something that you guys have been considering for a while, huh?
Yes, we've been considering it for a while. I mean, we've been leasing this home in this area for I would say 3 years already, 4 years.
Okay. Okay. And you said that's
Yeah.
in
So
Cyprus?
so we're considering either that or leasing it after it was fixed. Either we're still like trying to decide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it last phone call, but just to kind of reiterate, it's just my
Mm-hmm.
partner and myself. We're looking to pick up a couple more properties, maybe one or two more properties before the end of the year. We
Mm-hmm.
can pay cash, so it kind of
Okay.
allows us to close a little bit quicker if that's something that you're interested in. I know I get
Mm-hmm.
kind of get in the habit of telling people that we can close quickly, but I know that might not always be the best timeline for them. So we can really
Uh-huh.
work with your schedule. Again, if it's something that you're interested in, right? Because I know you guys have that plan of renovating,
Yes.
but I'd love to,
Yes.
just be able to if we could come to an agreement where it would make sense for the both of us, so where you guys
Mm-hmm.
kind of don't have to spend all the money and all the effort that would go into it and just sell it as is. Did you guys have an idea of how much money you were planning on spending?
I would say to do the repairs that he may need doing the roof,
Uh
the
huh.
siding and floor. I would say maybe about 25 to 30,000.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, we can make the cash offer, and we can do it. We try to make it as convenient and as simple as possible. With the cash offer, we can take care of some of the costs involved as well. The only thing that we wouldn't cover is like any outstanding mortgage balance or any unpaid taxes or liens or anything like that.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Yeah.
the,
No, there's nothing, none of that on the home. It's
okay,
paid off and taxes are up to date.
gotcha. All right, perfect. All right. Well, tell you what, I haven't really done my research. I'm taking a look at some properties that have maybe sold
Mm-hmm.
close in the area. Are you familiar with Talent Street?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yes, I know where that's at.
okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at some of those that have sold recently, actually, uh up near 150, but they are slightly bigger. These ones are
Yeah.
you know coming close
Mm-hmm.
even a little bit bigger than 1,800 square feet.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
And just to confirm, I'm looking at yours right now online. It's about 50, over a little over 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean,
Yes, and the also one it has two restrooms. One restroom needs to be renovated also. My husband
okay.
did the one. There's one room that has the restroom in it, and
Hmm.
he renovated the room and the restroom. He basically knocked everything down and put everything new.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
has a stand up shower in it. Um, but yeah,
Okay. Okay. So let me ask. I know you're saying that you guys were hoping to get about 100,000 after you do the repairs.
yes,
You guys were planning on probably spending about 30,000 to do the repairs. So
mm-hmm.
I'd imagine, if as an as is offer, you'd be looking somewhere around 70,000. Am I safe in assuming that?
Yes, that's the reason why we're trying to do the renovation
Right.
to even try to get more. Um, instead of just the cash offer, that around
Yeah.
that price.
y-
Because before they were also they were interested in purchasing our home at that time, and it was still not paid off, and basically we're just gonna get like they're offering like 35,000, and that was 2 years back,
Mhm.
and it was like to me that was really nothing.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're still looking to see what's
Right.
the best decision to make for ourselves, and so
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, depending on a cash offer, how much it would be and
Y- Right.
how much difference it would be, then we'll
Exactly.
consider
Exactly.
it.
And I'll tell you, I try my best to be honest with everybody, because you're right. I mean, some people, not to, they don't try to insult you with the offer. For us,
Yeah.
we do have to make money in the process as well. And so I try my
Mm-hmm.
very best to tell people, if we're not going to be the
Yeah.
best fit. In
Mm-hmm.
this case, it seems like, if I understand correctly, you guys are kind of in the middle of doing some renovations. You're planning on spending a good chunk of change to do some
Yeah.
more, and then the
Uh-huh.
the goal here is to sell this place, and as since you guys are leasing the place in Cyprus, use the
Mm-hmm.
money from the sale of this property to then buy or pay off essentially the place in Cyprus.
Purchase of the home
Purchase it.
actually.
Gotcha.
Purchase the
Okay.
home.
So you'll be
Yeah.
leaving the place that you're leasing and then looking for a place to purchase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, again, if I could come in with a cash offer, really work with you guys on your timeline, make it just easy and simple, I would be able to offer you somewhere in the range of 35 to 50,000 cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not what we're looking for at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's not a problem. Again,
Mm-hmm.
we're not the best. We're not the best fit for everybody. I know you guys
Uh-huh.
were kind of probably looking again for something closer to the 70,000 mark. Uh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about that price? If I could be upwards of closer to 50.
Closer to 50. still it's still not what we're looking for.
Mhm. Mhm.
I rather put money for myself in the home and get a better price than or like I said, or even leasing it, and basically that's what people do,
Right.
lease their home and then they'll pay the mortgage in the new home.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Not, and
that.
that's completely understandable. If I was in your situation and I had the means to do it as well, I probably would.
Yeah,
But I would hate myself if I didn't ask before we got off the phone. That 70,000, is it negotiable at all?
um, mm, at the moment, no.
Okay,
No, at the moment, no. Maybe if things don't work as fast as we're planning
sure.
and we get stuck, maybe then yeah, we'll consider that.
Yeah, yeah, and
But
that's all I was gonna ask as well. That if we aren't a good fit right now, I know circumstances change, so I would just love to stay in contact with you. Maybe round back every 30 to 45 days, see how the renovation's going, see if you guys are able to accomplish what you're setting out to do there, and if anything, just be some assistance, offer some assistance to you if I'm able to help however I can.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can keep up with us and just give us a call in another couple of months, and I'll let you know how it's going and if any changes or
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that
that's
sounds
fine.
good. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the
Okay,
time and I'll be in contact. Okay.
sure. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye. Uh-huh. So that was cool. She had a lot more work to do on the place than I thought. And I think she is a little bit unrealistic in how much she thinks that it's going to cost to renovate the place. She said up to 30,000. I guess that's no, she needs a new roof. She needs to, I think she said needs to redo the bathrooms. Um, the kitchen was like redone, kind of, but not really. She like people will try to tell you that the kitchen's redone, but then they'll tell you like, oh, he laid tile. It's like that's not redoing the kitchen. Well, she said cabinets too, so maybe like a little bit of work to the kitchen, but um, there's no central AC. The roof needs to be replaced. Um, and then probably like so like kind of on the lower end of an average. Well, that's not true. Probably right around an average renovation cost because it needs the roof and AC. It's just not quite the heavy because they have done a little bit of stuff here and there. So, you know, I would say the renovation I would say the renovation is probably going to be closer to like 50,000. Um so this is one where, she says 30,000. I think it's really going to be at like 50, which is why my offer is about $20,000 less than her asking price because she thinks it's going to cost 30 and I'm pretty sure it's going to cost somewhere closer to 50. She could patch the roof, but if it needs to be replaced, she said she hasn't done anything to it since they've bought it 30 years ago. That thing needs to go. She needs a new roof. She needs to drop in an AC unit, get that all hooked up. She needs to finish all of the renovations to the kitchen. She needs to um, redo the bathrooms. She probably needs. She said she did some flooring here and there in some rooms and the kitchen and the tile in the kitchen. Sorry, but she probably needs carpet, paint, flooring, and throughout the house aside from the rooms that they've already redone it. Um, Siding, she said needed work, so it's closer to a heavy renovation. To be quite honest, doesn't sound like they've really done much. I was under the impression that they had already done like a significant amount of work and that they were like in the middle of a renovation project. But it sounds to me that they're just trying to put in a couple thousand here and there to get the most they can for the property. So I'm glad that I at least threw out a number. I said 35 to 50. I really couldn't go any higher than 50, I don't think, now that I'm reworking the numbers. Well, that's not true. I took a really conservative ARV because I was doing it really quickly. I was running comps really quickly while I was on the phone. I saw that 3 homes in the area that were all within a half mile sold for 154, 155, and 165. So I conservatively took ARV at 150 while I was on the phone. But I think well, two, I think 160. Oh no, 145. Yeah, I think like 145 is really what it is. Let's see what this one would come out to. 1021. Yeah, 145. Oh, probably even less. I'd say like 145. Let's see what this estimate is. 157 is this estimate. Shoot. I don't know. I'd have to run some better comps on it, but if that were the case, I'm going to run better comps on it because if this estimate is 157, I tend to find that the accurate ARV is like 10 to 15,000 higher than this estimate. So if I can push this estimate up to like 170, not push it myself, but if I can find comps that justifies it, um, if I can, get an ARV of around 170, I may be able to call it to like 65, which I think she probably would be agreeable to. Um, but I just think it's going to be a lot more work than she thinks. I think, it's 1,500, just about 1,500 square feet, 1,540. So I think it's going to be about 50,000, maybe 60. Yeah, I think I can go like 65 max. Well, that's a pretty good one. Pretty good. I'll probably, to be honest, I'm gonna run comps, and I'll probably call her back and try to just come up with my offer after she stews on it for like a couple weeks. Connected with Carmen. You mentioned the following: tore down shed and back, kitchen somewhat repaired with new cabinets and tile flooring. Floor in other rooms need replacing. Roof leaks and needs to be replaced. Owned the property for 30 years. No central AC. Bathrooms need repairing. Or I think there may only be one bathroom, but whatever. Siding needs replacing. They own this property as a rental. I think it's a rental. Yeah, rental. And that's something that I didn't dive into. I should have asked about the tenant situation. They own this property as a rental and are leasing a property in, I think, Cyprus. Their goal is to put some money into this property, sell it for as much as they can, and then purchase another place in Cyprus. This property is owned free and clear with no liens. I didn't like how I pretty much told her her asking price. That's something that I wouldn't have done. I would have done differently in the future. Because even if it was like $5,000, if I didn't do the math for her and she would have asked for like 60 or 65, I think that we could have had a much more productive. Although I haven't been feeling like I've been really getting into rapport with these sellers either. I feel like it's been pretty transactional and that they're kind of ready to get off the phone. But it also could just be because they haven't reached that level of motivation yet. Um, Offer for 35K a few years back. I think that's pretty accurate, and I think it probably holds true right here. That if I got it at 35K, that'd be a huge spread. But um, even 50 is like cutting it pretty close to be able to pull down like 5-10,000 assignment. I guess I am accounting for a $20,000 assignment fee for myself. So if let's just say ARV is like 145. No, I'd still be like this. It would have to be upwards of 170 ARV, and me taking a $10,000 assignment fee and repairs being about 50 and no more than 55. Then I can be at 70. So it all depends on, really, it comes down to the comps. Maybe there is some stuff that will justify that. Accept it. Derek received permission to follow up every 30 to 45 days to check in to see, check in on their process, on their progress, renovation progress. And then I'm going to edit that, push that out till I'm just gonna call it the last day of the month, and I'm going to set a reminder for myself to run some comps. Yeah, give me one moment.